Hey, Billy with PowerCore 360. Welcome. Hey, today we're going to talk about ankle strength and conditioning after an ankle sprain. A week or so ago, we had one of our volleyball athletes hurt an ankle. She's an attacker, a hitter, and the dad asked me for some information in terms of helping make her better. So that's what we're going to do. Quickly, first couple things that have to happen. This is after they sustained an ankle injury. First thing that has to happen, they have to have the doctor and the PT's approval. So the exercises I'm going to show you are pretty safe, but they may be inappropriate based on what the doctor or the therapist wants the athlete to do. So you're going to go by their guidance first. Once they give you the guidance, we're going to start doing some exercises, and we're going to stop anytime we have pain, swelling, numbness, tingling, anything like that. Those are signs we don't deal with. Those are the signs they need to go back to the doc and or the therapist. Next thing, shoes and braces off. Realize that when you actually go out and play, that a lot of times the requirement is to wear your ankle braces. That's wonderful in the match or in the game. In terms of training and rehab, we want the brace off. We want your shoes off. And you're going to notice today my shoes are off. We're going to train the feet to basically start to learn to feel the ground again and control the body via the muscles that really need to be working. So shoes and braces off. Braces don't allow your feet oftentimes to work and your muscles to work like we want. So we're going to take them off and train with them off. The exercises we're going to do, we're going to start with 3. These are relatively basic exercises. They are just body weight, but what you'll probably find out for most athletes is, even if they don't have an ankle strain, that these would be great exercises to strengthen their legs. Might make them faster, might help them jump higher, but right now we're still focused on just making the ankle stronger, more stable. 3 exercises. The first one we're going to do is a two-legged squat, and we're going to do 1 set times 10 reps. Really nothing too magical about this. We're going to take, once again, our feet and put them in a position where we can feel our feet. In terms of how we do these things, it's really important. Even in a squat, just even with body weight, what we don't want is the knees shooting forward. If I had a line on the ground, I don't want to see my knees covering up my toes. My knees are going forwards. That's really a good prescription for not only an ankle injury, but an ACL, a knee strain, or something else. To be a better athlete, to protect your ankles, knees, hips, really the whole lower body, really what we want to be able to do is learn to load and take the hips back, right? So the knees are staying over the middle of the foot. They're not shooting out forward. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And we're just going to do 10 reps. I use a mirror. Ideally, it'd be great for you to look in the mirror so you can work on your alignment, your body position. So I'm looking forward here, and I'm just looking in the mirror as I go down. I want to make sure if I look straight at you like you're at the mirror, I want this knee staying over the middle of the foot. Oftentimes with the young athletes, especially female athletes who might be weak in their hips, their legs, their ankles, their feet, whatever the case is, you'll see this happen where the knees start caving in, right? Well, that's not good. And really what we want to do is strengthen and teach the right movement to where those knees stay over the feet as the hips go back. So your first set is just 10 slow reps. I'm looking in the mirror, and all I am is really doing to kind of warm up the muscles. And on 2 legs, it's easier than on 1 leg. This is where we're going to start. And then today we're going to assume that it's my left ankle. It really doesn't matter if it's right or left, but we'll just assume that it's my left ankle that I've strained, and I want to try to strengthen and work with that. And with that being said, I'm going to work right and left, but we'll start with the left, assuming that that's the ankle we're trying to strengthen here. The second exercise we call a single leg, 1 leg, supported step back lunge. Supported meaning I'm not just going to go up on 1 leg and try to do this just on my left leg. I'm actually going to take my right foot, and a step back lunge basically is performed by me just basically stepping back with my right foot. And what I want to do, the supported means I'm taking my right foot, I'm putting it on the ground, and I'm dropping my ankles, knees, and hips. I'm bending them, and I'm stepping back to where my right foot is actually supporting some of the weight and load off my left ankle, right? If I start to do this and it hurts, right, and I can't do it and it has pain, I'm going to stop, right? At that point in time, you're going back to the doc, you're going back to the therapist because you're not ready for this phase yet. In terms of body position, a couple things that need to happen once again. We've already talked about taking the hips backwards. We still want to do that. We're going to step back with this right foot. I'm exercising the left leg, left ankle. I want to step back, and as I go down, my ankle, my knee, my hip, they're all bending. My hips are going back. The alignment, once again, ideally I'm looking in a mirror. As I look in the mirror, I'm once again trying to keep my knee over the top of this foot. If I look towards you like you're the mirror, then basically what you want to see is as they step back with the right foot, once again, this knee's staying over the middle of the foot. It's not shooting forwards, nor is it what can happen with a lot of young athletes who aren't very strong through their ankles, knees, and hips. you're going to see the knee cave in and the hip kind of go out. That's not what we want. That's, once again, that's a telltale sign for a kid or an athlete or a knee that's at risk for an ACL or other injury, right? So as we do this, it's slow and controlled. Stepping back into my right foot, supporting my upper body here with that back foot, knee over the foot. And the other thing that might give you a good visual is, oftentimes when we have young athletes trying to do a step back lunge, they'll step back and you'll notice their whole body weight will go backwards, right? And really in sports for jumping, in volleyball for digging and other things, we don't want the athlete back here. We basically want the head and neck and chest forwards. And as we drop down, we want to drop down into that position where hips go back and our nose and chest basically drop straight down. So I've got a roll of tape here and a visual that make you understand as I go back and do this lunge, I want to basically visually understand that my nose and my chest are basically just dropping straight down, right? And so when I'm not just worried about my lower body, I'm now looking at the upper body and I'm trying to load in that position, because if they're going to go down and play a ball, dig a ball, jump, everything else, that's the same kind of way we want to strengthen them, right? And that's also the way we're going to strengthen that ankle. So that's really important. That's a good visual. That exercise, 2 to 3 sets of 10 repetitions, and these are slow, right? The 2 to 3 sets of 10 reps, so I do my first set on my left leg, it's controlled, watching my technique. I do 10 repetitions, and I do that off my left leg. Then I'm going to give my left leg a break, and I'm going to go into the right leg. I'm going to do my 10 reps there. So I'm going to alternate sides. One set of 10 with the left, one set of 10 with the right, and I'm going to alternate back and forth. I'll do 2 or 3 sets of that. If after 2 to 3 sets of that, everything feels good, once again, no numbness, no tingling, no pain in the ankle, knee, or foot, I can still control it, form and technique are still good, then go ahead and you can go on and go on to the next exercise. If you're already fatigued and you can't control it, right, then you're just fine stopping initially to do this 2 to 3 sets times 10 reps, right and left leg, right? The last exercise you're going to do is the same exercise, but instead of basically supporting this now, we're basically going to go and drop down into that position. So I'm going to put all my body weight on my right foot. I'm going to basically drop down into that left foot position, and I can support my foot there if I need to, but my weight's on my right foot. I'm stepping back into that left foot, that step back lunge, and I'm putting a quick little stimulus on those joints to learn how to stabilize the body in that position. Once again, knee stays over the foot. If they drop down in and this knee goes in and they can't control it, they're not ready for this exercise. They need to stay in this other exercise first for maybe a week, couple weeks, until they can really control that. And when then they start to drop down into that step back lunge, they can drop down in it and they can support it. If they go down initially and they support it with that back foot, that right foot, that's fine. Within a week or two, we'd like to see if they could basically go down, drop down into that position and balance and get stability there. If they come down and their knee's doing all this, we're not going to move forward until they're really ready to be able to take that, do that exercise, drop down into it, and have it control where that knee's stable. Make sense? This stuff can be done daily. So it's, once again, as long as there's no numbness, tingling, swelling, anything like that, no pain, they can do this daily for every day, for 7 days, for 14 days, something like that. It's not heavy loads. We're just training the nerves and the body to really try to get balance and stability back into that. Hope that helps. Give that a try. Let me know. If you like this video, subscribe down below. If you need more information about PowerCore 360, go to powercore360.com. Thank you.